In a progressive band like Tesseract, the guitar tone plays a huge role in driving the song. In this clip, you'll see how Acle dials in the Tesseract guitar tone by using multiple EQs in different stages to craft the sound around the rest of the mix. Check it out and enjoy.
So yeah, we already had some of that EQ applied. I mean, I can hear some of that boxiness creeping in just a second ago. Like the bass, it's just got that resonance there. Clearing the mud. And these two here, I probably added them later in the mix because I just found them the sound a bit too boxy, perhaps. I think that's why I've done that. Yeah, that's just taking out all that harsh stuff I don't like. And I know it can seem extreme, but it just works for me, I think. Cleans it all up. What's this one doing? This is probably taming some pick attack, maybe. It's just the old school C6 trick of multi-band compressing the palm mutes, but I'm using a dynamic EQ instead to do it. And I don't like to be too extreme. It's just a few dB. It's just nice to have a little bit of sort of, cab weight coming through, but it's just keeping it in check so it doesn't jump out of the speakers too much. These ones I would have just added later on in the mix. It's just to sort of sculpt it into the mix, I think. Just getting rid of that honkiness and that boxiness there. Okay, so I've taken out all this harshness, and obviously it sounds like it's, it's lost its bite. But it sounds smoother, so I go to the clariphonic to add back in some brightness. So it's going to get its bite, but just sort of in a smoother way, if that makes sense. So let's do it in the mix. Bring this down. So it's kind of adding what I was taking away, but in more of a broad stroke. It's getting rid of the nasty whistles and resonances I don't like, but then boosting the brightness back up because it felt a bit too dark otherwise. Just old school Paul Tech trick. Boosting, attenuating the same frequency, kind of sculpts the low end. Let's exaggerate that so we can hear it. And then boosting 16K just to give it some brightness. It's a little bit over the top, 16K, I know, but it's kind of like, it's doing like a shelf of it almost. And then, in a similar principle to what I'm doing on the mix bus with the Neve, this is just stereo imaging, just adding some width to it. But it's also this shred control seems to just tame the harshness again. Don't really know what it's doing, but I like it, so I just have a little bit of it, just smoothes it a little bit. And just adding a little bit of kind of stereo width. So adding this brightness is kind of giving me the level I need as well, so I can bring that back down, I think. Then we can bring in the other guitars. Buzz, and yeah, I thought that sounded boxy. Oh. Sounds thinner, but once you bring everything together, I think it just seems to work in the context of the mix. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at it as the Cortex ones are the main guitars, and these are just sort of extra layers, so it doesn't matter. I don't mind if I EQ them even more so if I wanted to kind of go to town with it sometimes. So just sort of filling in the gaps. I think that's pretty much it on the guitars. I mean, I've got this rear bus thing here, which is an Andy Sheps, I think his name is, Sheps technique. It's essentially it's the same deal really, it's just going to, with some automation, just doing that really, but for a chorus. But it's just my guitar group being sent to that bus. It's being compressed so that all the power mutes are kind of in check. I'm literally using it, I think. So we're bus. Yeah, I'm just using it for this section and towards the end a little bit. So it's just to give the song hopefully a little bit of a, so it's not all flat. It's just gives it that little element of things are building up slightly. So when this chorus kicks in, it's just got a little jump, but it's very subtle, but it all starts to add up. You can see like the power mutes are kind of being compressed by it. Just making it louder really. So I use it as a way of automating it, but just clean automation almost.